So here's the before. The pipe that's vertical is demonstrating the height. I have several of these pipes that were just laying around the yard for years and years, so virtually free to me. And I'm pretty sure they're strong enough to support these panels. The panels are pretty light. They're like 15 pounds a piece. So the bar that's going to be actually supporting their weight is going to be straddled by a couple of treated lumber boards on ends, and this bar in the middle, I just need to trim this bar down. And the height is the issue that was really puzzling me, because this fence is just high enough to interfere with the panels should the panels come loose from whatever supports were keeping them at an angle. So I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't damage the panels if anything should happen, like if it got too windy and the panels blew off the supports, whatever that. I haven't even got to that point in my mind even, but I just didn't want that fence to damage the panels, so I went upward. So they're 9 feet off the ground in terms of this pipe, this pair of pipes that's going to support the panels, and that should clear most of the sunlight from the trees and like the vegetation and the house and the fence. The fence across from this to the left of this is almost 6 feet, and the sun is going to get pretty low toward the horizon, so I definitely wanted them above where they were before, which is just a few inches off the ground or right at ground level. And now I'm making sure that we can see the hole for the pipe matches, but I'm just being silly and artistic here. Alright, so this looks pretty flimsy, I have to admit. And it's only meant for lateral support to allow something to have the main support boards to fasten to. And this 4x4 was there before. It had been there for years, unused, so I went ahead and commandeered this 4x4 and a treated lumber 2x4x8. Those are 8 feet tall, and now I have to add some extension to get the lateral support. And so I went ahead and had some extra pieces of treated lumber from this shed project that had been going on earlier. And the reason I'm not wanting to spend a lot of money on a lot of lumber is because the price of these things has just gone a little bit crazy. 4x4x8 at Home Depot is $15.50 right now, close to $16 a piece. So if I had 3 right there is $50, and then I'm gonna need, right now I'm using old boards to add to the lateral support, and if I had those replaced by treated lumber, that would be another 50. Already it's 100, so it's looking like it's going to be close to a $200 job just for the lumber, which I didn't want to do because I really just the idea is to elevate these panels, not to build them a home. But they're $100 a piece. Now I saw the price has gone down into the $80 range for a 100-watt panel, but I bought these last year for $100 a piece, so it's about all the Renogys were $100, so it's about an $800 investment just for these 8 panels. And here's how I decided to go ahead and attach the panels to the pipe. It's just with some 14 gauge wire. 14 gauge wire can fit through these holes on the brackets two times, two wire rounds. So that seemed like a pretty good support. And I had to test out the first ones on the ends to make sure the ends were going to be supported well enough to get an idea. I'm just getting an idea of how things are going to be here. Seems fine to me here. And so I'm ready to go ahead and do the other ones, making sure that the middle has enough support from another pipe. Another pipe was laying around. All I had to do was trim it a little, and then I was done with my vertical supports. Although now I see that I should have gone lower instead of higher, but I really wanted to clear that fence line, and there are houses and trees across the across from the panels. Here I'm estimating the pipe. I have to estimate the pipe height for the best support, and I had thought about going off to the side and drilling holes through the pipe and just screwing the pipe into the support wood, but then I thought, oh no, it'd be better to have that pipe support the other pipe, because that other pipe is going through this hole in this I think it's a 1x4 or 1x6, but these were these were things I found on the side of the road, basically from like old dressers and bed frames and things like that, and I would harvest the wood that would otherwise have gone into the dumpster, into the dump. And now I'm getting ready to cut the pipe with this hacksaw, or jigsaw, I'm sorry. And the jigsaw is connected to the power inside the car. So I have a couple of batteries, lithium-ion batteries in the car. And I flip on the inverter, and now I have 110 volts to 115 volts AC for tools like this. And the funny thing about this is that the pipe was easy enough to cut, but the little hacksaw blade was slightly short, and so I spent a lot of time just feeling like I was getting the cut, but the blade was just pounding into the other side of the pipe on the inside. So that was a learning experience. So now it's just a matter of making sure that that pipe stays where it's supposed to. So I went ahead and drilled a hole inside of the pipe and put a screw through it just to make sure it would stay in position. And this was the idea here is to support that support pipe from being laterally pushed from side to side, just from wind, just to prevent the wind from allowing the main support pipe here to have too much movement, which would probably cause the screw fastener to become loose fairly quickly. And after this, after I put up all the panels, I even put a face plate piece of wood over that to make sure it didn't come forward. So now I have 3 supports, 2 are wood, and this is the pipe support. I haven't spent any money so far on this except for screws that I've bought for other projects, and that's about it. I'm really tempted still to replace all these with treated lumber, and I'm not even sure about using a pipe for swinging the panels, but the price of these hinges for stainless steel hinges is crazy. To have enough hinges to do that with just wood, and the hinges would make it way like $300 at least. So here, these clamps are meant to be temporary holding clamps so that the pipe doesn't move from side to side. and I was able to slide the end panels on, but now I have to hold the middle panels and wire them up in place. And on the ends I drilled a hole through and just added some wire to make sure the end panels wouldn't slide off. And so that's it. 8 panels off the ground for 0 cost.